Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Aulia Febriyanti dengan nomor NIM 206121176 kelas 4E. Pada kesempatan kali ini saya akan menjelaskan beberapa materi untuk memenuhi tugas UAS mata kuliah LLA. Langsung saja. The first is assessing writing, type of classroom writing performance, imitate writing down. At the beginning level of learning to write, students will simply write down English letters and possibly sentences in order to develop the learning on the convention of orthographic code. And then intensive guided writing. Intensive reading typically appears in controlled. A common form of controlled writing is to present a paragraph to students in which they have to alter a given structure through code. Then self-writing. In self-writing, the students are free to express their idea into their own words. Diary and journal writing also falls into the category. And then display writing. There are some types of activities in display writing such as short answer exercise, easy examination and research report, and the last is real writing. The students' activities are aimed at the genius communication of message to an audience in need of this message. And then scoring method for responsive and extensive writing. The first is holistic scoring. The scoring method to evaluate writing in which writer awards a score for the overall quality instead of for individual traits. Second is primary trait scoring. Is an approach for evaluating constructed response in which scores are based on one or more specific aspects of performance. They are essential for the successful completion of the tested task. The third is analyze scoring, method of evaluating students' work that require assigning a spirit score for each dimension of the task. Speaking. The A speaking test. A speech or oral test is defined as a test in which a person is encouraged to speak and then assessed on the basis of speech. It can be used alone or in combination with other tests or skills. B type of spoken test. The first is interviews, the second is live monologues, the third is role plays, the fourth is collaborative tasks and discussion, and then assessment criteria. The first, grammar and vocabulary. The second is discourse management. The third is pronunciation, and the fourth is interactive communication. And then C, basic types of speaking. A, imitative assessment task. It is an ability to simply parrot back or imitate a word or a phrase or possibly sentence. Designing assessment tasks. A, word repetition task, and B, phone pass test. And then the second is intensive speaking assessment tasks. The production of short stretch of oral language designed to demonstrate competence in a narrow band of grammatical, phrase, lexical, or phonological relationship. Designing assessment tasks. The first, directed response task. The second, read aloud task. Third, sentence or dialogue completion tasks and oral questionnaires. Fourth, pictures, quote tasks, and five, translation. And then number 3 is assessing listening. Listening is a process of receiving and interpreting the spoken word. Designing assessment tasks, intensive listening. A, recognize phonological and morphological elements. A typical form of intensive listening at this level is the assessment of recognition of phonological and morphological elements of language. Example, phonemic pairs, consonant. Test takers here, he's from California. Test taker read, A, he's from California, and B, she's from California. And then phonemic pair, vowel. Example, test taker here, is he living? Test taker read, A, is he living? B, is he living? And then P, paraphrase recognition. The next step up On the scale of listening comprehension, micro skill is word, phrase, and sentence, which are frequently assessed by providing a stimulus sentence and asking the test taker to choose the correct paraphrase from a number of choices. Example, sentence paraphrase, test taker here, hello, my name is Keiko, I come from Japan. And test taker read, A. Keiko is comfortable in Japan. B. Keiko wants to come to Japan. And C. Keiko is Japanese. And then designing assessment tasks, selective listening. A. Listening close. Listening close tasks require the test taker to listen to a story, monologues, or conversation and simultaneously read the written text in which selected word or phrase have been selected. B. Information transfer. Transferred to a visual representation such as a labeling a diagram, identifying an element in a picture, completing a form, or showing roads on a map. And C. Sentence repetition. The test taker must retain a stretch of language long enough to reproduce it and then must respond with an oral repetition of the stimulus. And number 4 is assessing a reading. How to do a language assessment literacy test. First, put the test development step correctly. 2. Matching definition with aspect or usability testing. 3. Match reading skills with appropriate format testing. 4. Match test format with text. And then the purpose of reading assessment. The reading assessment is intended to provide feedback on skill, process, and knowledge search that a person's abilities read. Generally, assessments have been categorized in terms of A. References, norms, and criteria reference testing. B. Formative and summative assessment. C. Formal and informal or alternative assessment. And D. Skills, achievement, placement, and diagnostic assessment. And the last is assessing grammar. 5 characteristics to measure communicative grammar. First, the test must have more context than one sentence. 2. Students need to understand the communicative purpose of the given task. 3. Participants need to know who the target audience is. 4. Participants focus on the meaning, not the form, to answer correctly. 5. Participants are expected to produce grammatical response. And then alternative assessment. First, games. A. Split sentence. B. Sentence from picture. C. Memory test. D. Picture dictation. E. Strip story. F. Meaning and action. And G. Clothing stories. And 2. Observation class. A. Classroom activities. B. Classroom communication effective dialogues. C. Written exercise. And then 3. Online activities. And 4. Portfolio. Sekian pemaparan materi mengenai assessing grammar, speaking, listening, writing, and reading. Sekian dari saya, kurang lebihnya saya mohon maaf. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.